Why does your acrylic look like this instead of this? Cloudy edges, melted corners, rough cuts. It's not your machine, you're just making a few small mistakes. Let's fix that. Today I'm going to show you the most common acrylic cutting mistakes beginners make, and more importantly, how to fix them so you can get clean, polished edges every time. Before we jump into the mistakes, you need to understand one thing. Acrylic doesn't cut like wood. It doesn't burn away, it melts, and then it re-solidifies. So your final edge is actually formed during the cut itself. If your settings are wrong, the edge doesn't form properly, and that's when you get that cloudy or melted look. One of the biggest mistakes is using the wrong type of acrylic. You get two main types, cast and extruded. Extruded might look the same, but it doesn't cut the same. You'll get dull edges, poor engraving, and inconsistent results. What you want is cast acrylic. It melts evenly and gives you that clean, polished edge. This is where most people get confused. You've probably heard cut faster, cut slower, increase power, decrease power, but the truth is, it's not about speed and it's not about power. It's about heat. If you go too slow, too much heat builds up and your edges start melting and going cloudy. If your power is too low, you're forced to slow the machine down and now you're overheating the material anyway. If you go too fast, the laser doesn't cut through properly and your edges look rough. If your power is too high, you dump too much energy into the acrylic and that can distort the edge as well. So what do you actually want? You want controlled heat, enough power and a controlled speed so the acrylic melts evenly and then re-solidifies cleanly. This one surprises a lot of people. Too much air can actually ruin your acrylic cut. With materials like MDF, strong airflow is great. But acrylic is different. If you blast air directly into the cut, you disturb the molten acrylic and now the edge can't form properly. That's when you get that smudged or cloudy finish. So here's the interesting part. To actually get a clean, polished edge, you often need to reduce the air or even turn it almost completely off. And yes, that can give you a much cleaner result. But when you remove the air completely, you're not clearing heat or fumes. And that's when burning and flare-ups start happening. Now this is where nozzle design comes in. A narrow nozzle gives you a strong, focused airflow, which is great for wood, but not ideal for acrylic. With a wider nozzle, you get a softer, more spread out airflow. So now, instead of having no air at all, you can introduce a small, controlled amount of airflow. That helps push heat and fumes away, without disturbing the melt. And that's the balance you're looking for. Controlled airflow, not aggressive airflow. That's what eliminates burning and still gives you that clean, polished edge. Another mistake, cutting on a honeycomb table. What happens is the laser reflects off the metal underneath, and that can mark the bottom of your acrylic. If you want cleaner results, use a blade table or lift the material slightly. This is a small one, but it makes a big difference. When your laser starts a cut, it often creates a slightly stronger pulse, and that can leave a visible mark. So what do? Cut inside shapes first, then outside. and control where your start points are. Let's go through a few quick ones. Keep your protective film on when cutting. That prevents smoke marks and scratches. Make sure your focus is correct. Even perfect settings won't work if your laser isn't focused. And avoid multiple passes. Acrylic edges are formed during the cut. If you cut it again, you destroy that finish. Here's where things get interesting. The real money isn't just cutting acrylic, it's combining it with other materials. Use MDF as a base and acrylic as the top layer. And now you've got a product that looks premium without the full cost. And just quickly, the machine does matter. If you're serious about acrylic, you want a CO2 laser, that's what gives you clean, polished edges. Machines like the Thunder Laser Nova range are built for this. Stable beam, consistent results, and clean cuts. If your acrylic hasn't been coming out right, it's probably one of these things. Fix these and your results will improve immediately. If you want to see this in action, come through to MaxLaser and test it yourself. Book a demo and let's get your acrylic cutting right.